Here are 3 reasons you're not seeing the muscle growth you want from your resistance band exercises. So, number 1, you're not keeping tension on the band the whole time. Now, these bands only give you resistance when you're putting them under tension. So, if you're not keeping that band under tension, you're losing all the resistance through a big part of the exercise. So say I'm doing a chest press. This is working my chest and my tricep, but I'm standing so close to the anchor point that I push out to here, and then as I'm coming back, the band in this range goes slack. So I'm not staying far enough away where at this point, you can see the band is actually not even providing resistance here. So as I come back, this is obviously a bit exaggerated where the band goes completely slack. But even if I'm just a little bit too close, you can lose all that tension where this is just sort of dangling there. So biggest thing you want to do with that is step a little bit further away to keep those bands under tension, and that's going to keep that resistance more constant. It will change a little bit because of the nature of the bands, but that way it's providing resistance through the entire movement. So that's number 1 biggest thing you can do to make sure you're growing, continuing to grow and challenge the muscle, because the band is properly tensioned. If you don't have that right, nothing else is going to work. So, second reason you might not be growing as much as you think you should be from a resistance band is you're not actually tiring out the muscle. If you end an exercise and you feel, oh, I could do another 10 of those, it's not heavy enough for you. It's not properly challenging the muscle. The muscle grows when we fatigue it, when we put tension on it. And if you're not putting enough tension, not enough fatigue, the muscle's not going to grow. Just like dumbbells, if you were to do a bench press with 1 pound dumbbells, probably is not enough to stimulate muscle growth, to cause that muscle to grow. Same thing with the band. You want it to be heavy enough that it's challenging to do. So if I'm doing this with this red band, for instance, doing a chest press, it's very large muscles against it. I could do a lot of these before the muscle gets tired. If I end and that's looks as smooth as it was at the beginning, where I'm not really struggling at that last rep, I'm probably not challenging my muscle enough. I could do these probably a good 40 or 50 reps of these before I get tired. So that's telling me I need to go for a heavier band because it's not challenging enough. You want to challenge that muscle. So that's thing number 2. You need to go heavy enough to actually fatigue that muscle. Now the third one is a little bit more complicated. You want to make sure you set up the bands so that they are applying maximum leverage in the most stretched position of the muscle. Now, that gets a little bit more complicated. So I'm going to show you a follow along workout where I go through a series of exercises for the upper body. We're going to be doing for chest, back, biceps, and triceps. But put it simply, or to show you what I mean, is I want the band to be pulling in the direction of perpendicular to where my attachment is. So for here, or perpendicular to the joint, let's look at a bicep curl, okay? So in the most stretched position here, my joint is going this direction, okay? Sort of in a curve backwards. So in that bicep curl, it's going down and back. But here's the thing, the band is pulling straight down. It's literally just pulling my elbow out of socket. So this is applying maximum tension up here, but in the stretch position where it's going to generate muscle growth, this is providing almost no resistance at all. It's pulling down away from my shoulder and my elbow. So to fix that, we would have to change the way that the band is pulling to a horizontal, because what happens there is in this lengthened position, you can see the band is pulling, if you imagine an arrow drawn along this band, it's pulling this direction straight against my muscle in the most lengthened position, straight against that joint. So in this position, it's almost providing no resistance, but in this position, it's maximizing that leverage. So how you set up your bands is very important. It might be fatiguing to have it on the ground, but it's going to cause the most muscle growth in this position where it's horizontal and pulling directly against that muscle in that lengthened position. So I'm going to show you a follow along workout using resistance bands, working the upper body today. If you'd like to join me, hit that subscribe button and the bell. I host these live streams on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So I'm going to start out with a chest exercise for using resistance bands. Now for the chest, it's a large muscle group, so I'm going to add an extra band to make sure I'm challenging that muscle. We're going to do a chest press. So for this one, you'll anchor it around something. It could be a post, a tree, anything that's going to be secure. Then holding the band, I'm going to walk forward until I feel that tension pulling me back with my hands at elbow width and all the way back to my chest. So I'm doing two things with this. One, I'm setting the tension where I have tension through the whole movement, which is making sure that I'm not letting the band go slack. The other thing I'm doing is I'm widening my hands. My hands are narrow. I'm losing leverage. Wide hands is keeping that leverage on the chest the whole time. Now, if you want to, you can put the band over the top of your arms. It's fine to go under or over. It's not going to change the movement. That's totally fine. From here, keeping my hands wide to keep that leverage. If I bring my hands in again, it loses that leverage on the chest. From here, pushing out to the front and then back. Now I'm trying to go all the way back to where my hands are in line with my chest. So I'm going through that full stretch position. And now you're going to try for somewhere around 10 reps. The exact number, fortunately, doesn't matter that much. It's anything above 5 reps and below 30 reps are equally effective. They've studied this. The studies I've read on this just talk more about that you need to fatigue the muscle. It doesn't actually matter how many reps you do, as long as the muscle is fatigued by the end. So even if you get 5, or if you can get all the way to 30, as long as it is challenging to you. Now, if you get above 30, that's probably a good indicator that you need to make the band heavier. Because beyond 30, it stops being as effective for muscle building. So for me, I'm not really keeping count. All I'm doing is going until I feel that muscle fatigue. Might feel that burning sensation in the muscle, or you might just go to push it back up and aren't able to really push that band back into that position. So I'm trying to, again, go all the way back, leveraging that chest muscle, pushing out to the front. Now, if I am keeping a little bit of a loose count, this might be a little too light for me now. As you get stronger, you might have to add extra bands to this. Like for this one, I have the black and red band. I might need to actually go add an extra band to this to keep it challenging. So that is our chest exercise. Now, for working the back, so muscles between the shoulder blades and the muscles in the lats, we're going to do a row. So for this one, I'm still going to keep the band at about the same height. I want it pulling straight back, horizontal, so not angled up or down. I'm going to let my hands pull all the way to the front, trying to keep my back straight, leaning back. That's pulling my shoulder blades apart. From here, with my thumbs pointed in, we're going to do a wide grip row. So for the row, you're going to pull back to your rib cage, pinching your shoulder blades together. And move here. So pulling back to your rib cage with your hands pointed in. So I'm really keeping that elbow up and pulling wide because that keeps that leverage on my arms. As I go back, my hands actually come in a little bit because that's pulling apart the shoulder blades. If my hands stayed wide, I would keep that muscle shortened. As I pull in and across, my hands sort of pull from here, out, and then back. So I'm really letting the shoulder blades pull all the way apart, really pull apart those shoulder blades and then back together to work on those shoulder blade stabilizers. So going from a row, letting it pull me forward, pulling back, and then all the way back forward. You should feel that band really pull on those shoulder blades. Now you want to stand far enough away where you can feel the band pulling through the entire movement. There's constant tension on your shoulders as you're doing this. If it goes slack here, if it gets suddenly a lot easier, you need to stand further away. And that is what's going to get you effective resistance on the muscle. As I'm coming back, this is pulling directly away from my lats, putting all that leverage into my upper back. And relax. All right, so I'm gonna add an extra band to this because I think that it's not quite challenging enough. I'm getting to more high reps. So I want to make sure that I'm keeping that challenge level on this exercise. So I'm going to add the blue band to this for an extra, I believe this one is between 5 and 10 pounds. So this would be the same thing as adding an extra 5-pound plate on your bench press or on your row. So same concepts apply. We want to progressively overload and keep on challenging the muscle. So if it's too easy, add a little bit of resistance with the extra band or go to a heavier band. For this particular set, the red band is the heaviest band, so I have to add extra bands to continue to make it challenging. So, when we're doing a workout, I like to do things in what are called supersets, where we work pairs of muscles in alternating sets. So I'm working the pushing muscles in one set and the pulling muscles in the next set. And while the pushing muscles are recovering, the pulling muscles are working, and vice versa. So it lets us get through a workout faster and more efficiently. So you can save time and get a great workout still. So from here, stepping out to where I feel tension all the way through the movement, I'm gonna put, excuse me, the band over the top of my arms. And from here, I'm gonna push out to the front and then all the way back. I should feel that tension even here. If there's not enough tension, step a little bit forward and then keep on going. Keep those hands wide. Trying to go through that full range of motion through each rep. I'm going all the way back, really opening up the chest, putting high tension across the chest muscles. And relax. And now the same thing, doing the row. So I like to do 3 sets of each exercise. And since the first one wasn't quite as challenging because I didn't have the third band, I'm only starting to count now that I've got a good challenging weight. So I'd like to gradually increase it till I find a good, the point at which it's challenging, and then that's when I start counting sets. So I'm using the other ones as a warm-up set. And that's what's called a specific warm-up as opposed to a general warm-up. So we're targeting the muscles that we're using, getting blood flow into the muscle and joint, getting it primed to work. So for some people, they like to do like a little bit of jogging, and that's fine. That's a general warm-up. It's warming up the whole body. For this workout, I like doing a specific warm-up where I start with a lighter band and gradually work up to a heavier set of bands, pulling and pushing. So I like these exercises because they cover a wide variety of muscles in the upper body. So I start with the what are called compound movements that work multiple muscles at once, and I move to more isolation movements that work a single muscle at a time. And relax. And again, I'm not worried so much about the rep count. As long as you can get more than 5 and you have good technique. Those are the 2 things that matter for how many reps you do, is that you're not all over the place, really not controlling the movement. If that's the case, you probably should go to a slightly lighter band, get control of the movement while still fatiguing the muscle. That way we don't have auxiliary movements. If I'm like this and all over the place, or trying to do a chest press and I'm like this, or like tensing up, or not really doing the chest press anymore, then that's too heavy of a resistance. And that's true if you have bands or dumbbells or barbells or kettlebells, doesn't matter. You should be able to control the movement. And if you need to, it's okay to go a little lighter, build up that strength, build up sometimes it's the stabilizing muscles aren't strong enough. So building those up and then going to the heavier weight can be the right option. So hands wide, we're going into a chest press. This is our second set. So pushing out, now stepping far enough away where you feel tension through that whole movement. Try and keep my chest up to keep that pressure on the chest the whole time. If you need to, you can lean forward a little bit, just keep your chest up. Pinching those shoulder blades together. I'm going until I feel that fatigue in the muscle, because otherwise this is not going to help build muscle. And relax. So doing as many reps as you can till you feel that fatigue build up. It should feel tiring. If it's not tiring, it's not really working. Excuse me a moment. Excuse me. So that was set number 2 of our chest press. Now we're going into set number 2 of rows. So same thing, trying to keep good form through the whole movement. Want that pulling directly away from my joint in this leveraged position. So that's why I'm starting in a leveraged position. I should feel this pulling my shoulders forward away from my body. And from here, pulling back to the rib cage. I'm standing far enough away that there's tension in the band the whole time. Now, if you don't have room to move as far away as you need to, you can always loop the band around a post or whatever you're anchoring to take up some of the slack in the band. I'm going until I feel that fatigue build up in the muscle. I'm always returning to a fully stretched position as well. I'm not doing a partial rep. I'm trying to do a lengthened movement entirely. It's the most important part of most muscle. As far as we can tell, that's the most important part of that exercise, is the lengthened position. So we got one more set of chest to do. One more chest, one more back. That will get us to 3 sets. You should feel tired at this point in these muscles. If you need to take 30 seconds to a minute between, that's okay. That rest period can help alleviate some of the burning, some of that fatigue that's built up. But one of the reasons we are doing the superset is to give your body more time to recover between sets. So while one muscle is working, the other muscle is recovering. So hopefully we can get through quickly with very little time needed for rest. So I know people have busy lives, but I really encourage you to make working out part of your day-to-day life. Building that muscle, because as we age, we lose muscle, especially if we stop using it. There's a concept called sarcopenia, which is loss of muscle mass. A lot of people have heard of osteoporosis, which is loss of bone mass, but not as many people know about sarcopenia, which is the initial loss of muscle mass. So as we put resistance on the muscle and work that muscle, it helps build it up and prevent that muscle loss. But the only way to do that is by challenging the muscle. So that's why it's important to go for a heavy enough resistance band where you feel challenged. If you're just moving the band around, it's not really giving you the benefit of building that muscle, of really challenging your nervous system, challenging your muscular system. It's even actually helping challenge your bones as well, because the muscle has to pull on the bone. So it does a lot of good for your entire body. It's also great because it pulls blood sugar into the muscle, makes the muscle more sensitive to insulin. So any of these things are all positives of doing resistance training. And that's why I want to help you do resistance training correctly so you get the benefits of it. Because all of these things are beneficial for a longer, happier life. So we want to be, if you want to be healthy and be able to move like you want to and maintain healthy muscles and joints and bones, this is a great place to start, and I'm here to help. So good on you if that's your goal. That is amazing. I'm really glad that you have joined here and are working to accomplish that. So let me help you do that. And if there's anything I can do, let me know in the comments or the chat. If there's something you want to know, I'll do what I can. I'm not medical. I'm just here for health and fitness and exercise. So I can't give you medical advice, but I can help you with how to exercise well. So we just worked a lot of the main muscles of the chest and back. Now we're going to work into the muscles of the arm. We worked these a little bit, but now we're going to target in on the biceps and triceps to get a effective workout into them. So for this, I'm going to drop some of the bands. They're much smaller muscles, so they need less resistance to really be working hard. So for this one, we talked about a little bit earlier, but I'll go over it for the bicep. So for doing a curl, instead of having the band pull straight down like this, where it's not really challenging the muscle in a lengthened position, we're instead going to attach the band low, about waist height, so it's pulling straight back. Then from here, I'll walk forward until I feel the band pulling my arms back straight. So this is going to be a horizontal bicep curl. So keeping my elbows right at my sides, pulling up to the front of my shoulders. Now you might need to play around with this a little bit. Drop the band a little lower maybe. So depending on how long your arms are, it might need to be a little lower than waist height. You basically want it to be flat, level, parallel with the ground when your arms are out straight. So I don't want it angled like this. I want it to be out straight, pulling straight back. So from here, pulling up to the front, and then back down. So I'm really feeling a lot of tension down in this range where my arms straighten out. I should feel that in my biceps, pulling out to the back. And trying to do as many as you can. If you get to about 30 reps, if you've gotten that high in reps, where you're just cranking out reps, Try a heavier band. Now trying to stand straight and tall as you're doing this. The bicep is what's called biarticular. So it actually works at both the shoulder and the elbow. That's why the bi to articular is movement. So it moves at two joints. So I don't want my shoulders to be forward. I want to try and keep my shoulders up to keep that length on the bicep. So I'm not moving the bicep at the top and that shoulder range. Feel that burning in that bicep muscle. I like this better than a dumbbell curl or standing dumbbell curl because it has better tension in the lengthened position for me for that biceps brachii muscle. Really for everybody. Now, there are advantages of doing dumbbells in a standing position. It will work another muscle called the brachialis, but there are other ways of working that muscle as well. There's a lot of effective exercises, but personally, I found for my biceps brachii, so the brachialis, they really grow more effectively with this exercise. So the biceps brachii are right here. They go in the front of the arm. Underneath that, down here, is the brachialis. And that's targeted in different ways, but that's not, with this exercise, we're really targeting this top muscle, this bicep muscle. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry, doesn't need to. You're still getting a great upper arm workout by doing bicep curls with resistance bands like this. There's a ton of different exercises we can do with a variety of pieces of equipment. So for the triceps, the muscle in the back of the arm, I like skull crushers where your band is attached up at eye level. You could put this a little lower at about chin or throat level if it's a little more comfortable on your shoulders. Some people that it's a little less comfortable up at the top. So for this, what you're going to do, you can grab either the handles or the fabric, whatever is more comfortable, and you're going to bring your elbows in so that your hands are right by your ears and your elbows are tucked in. We're working this muscle right here in the back of your arm. So to do that effectively, for getting the leverage into that muscle, you want your elbow higher than your shoulder. If it drops below your shoulder, you lose that leverage in that lengthened position. It actually shortens that muscle. Up here, it's lengthening that muscle completely. So I want to end in this position. So I'm gonna pull out till I feel tension pulling me back in this position, because I want there to be tension through this entire movement. From here, my hands are by my ears. This is our ending position. You're gonna straighten out towards the front and then all the way back. You should feel that tension pulling you back. If you don't feel that, you can step further away. Now, if it's a little more comfortable, you can put your palms down rather than up. That's okay. It'll take a little bit of that pressure off. From here, straightening out. So out to the front and then back. You should feel that in your tricep, in the back of your arm, keeping those elbows high. So I'm keeping that leverage on the arm the whole time. Feel that in the back of your shoulder. Now, If you want to change this up a little bit, we can actually angle it downwards as well. If you're having trouble feeling that in the arms, you can angle it downwards. Just make sure you attach it on somewhere where it's not gonna slide up on you. And then push up toward the ceiling rather than forward. So elbows still stay high and pushing up. And that's more of a shoulder extension up. Still trying to keep those elbows tucked in. And you should go until you feel that muscle fatiguing. And relax. So we're trying for three sets of these two exercises, going bicep curls into skull crushers or elbow extension, or tricep extensions rather. Both of them work from the elbow. So stepping forward till you feel the band pulling you back, standing straight and tall, curling up to the front. You should feel that tension in your bicep, in the front of your arm, right in here. For me, I used to do bicep curls with dumbbells, and the only thing that got tired was my forearms. This one though, I feel like I can really feel my bicep working. And I've seen more growth in my bicep this year doing this variant than I have ever seen from doing dumbbell curls. Because mostly I wasn't setting up the dumbbell curl in a way where it was tensioned in a lengthened position. So I was doing them standing like this. Now, if you are using a dumbbell, you can do this, but you have to leverage it by leaning back away from the dumbbell to properly get that bicep engaged. You can see I'm slowing down as I get higher reps because the muscle is fatiguing. So I'm really trying to go until I can't lift hardly anymore. You want to go till you feel fatigue in that muscle, because that's when you're actually building that muscle growth. Now from here, just gotta make sure that's not gonna go anywhere on me. Elbows tucked in, straightening out the arms up towards the ceiling. I like this, doing it low here, because I'm still leveraging in the most stretched position in the elbow, and this way I don't have to adjust it between the two exercises. So still trying to keep those elbows up and then in. So if my elbows flare out, I'm working some more of the chest. Keeping those elbows in makes it so it's directly into that tricep muscle in the back of the arm. Now, if you need to, you can drop it sort of to the front of your throat and then push out and then back to your throat. If it's uncomfortable on your shoulder, that's a way you can relieve a little bit of that tension. But if you're able to, bring the dumbbells back, or it's not dumbbells, I'm sorry, the handles back to your ears and then back straight. And relax. So that was our second set of triceps. Now we're going into our third set of biceps. So we're trying for 3 sets each exercise. So that's 3 repetitions, or 3 times through the exercise. So stepping forward till the band is pulling you back. That's that first concept of keeping tension on the band the whole time. Staying straight and tall, so you're leveraging correctly against the band in the lengthened position. So the band is pulling perpendicular to my joint. From here, pulling up to the front, and then all the way back. Should feel that working in that bicep. So that's 2 of our rules. The third rule being we go until the muscle feels fatigued, because that's where we are building that muscle. There's that muscle growth. We're not fatiguing the muscle at all. It has no reason to grow. Trying to stand straight and tall to keep that tension on the muscle the whole time. I'm trying to keep my hands in. I'm not going wide with my hands. I'm keeping that tension on the bicep the entire time by keeping it directly in line with my elbow. And 15. Now, if you are feeling tired right now, that means you are succeeding. You're doing what you need to. So that's awesome. Great work. If you're tired, if you're working hard, that means you're successful. So, good job. Keep up the good work. Bear with it for one more set. We're going to finish with our tricep. Do what you can. The only thing you can ask of yourself is pushing into that fatigue. If you're tired, that means you did it right. It's not a failure to be tired. It means you actually succeeded at the gym. And that's going to cause you to grow. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling like it's difficult, that's good. You're doing good. You're doing the right thing. That means you're going to see change. So from here, elbows tucked in, pushing out towards the ceiling, and then back down to your ears, trying to keep your elbows in and up. Pushing up, feeling that in your tricep. I know that these are hard to do correctly with high resistance, but if you continue doing that, if you continue working, that's what causes these muscles to grow over time. It's what builds your body up and helps you stay healthy and strong. So you're investing today, you're putting in the effort today for a stronger you tomorrow and the next day. Maybe this year you don't feel very strong, but keep on going. And by next year, you'll be amazed at the difference it's made. The important thing is to not give up. It takes time, but the change, it will come. I look at pictures of me from last year, and it's so different from where I look right now. And I look forward to next year, where it's going to be even more change, more different. So you can make it. You got this. I'm here to help you on your journey to get to where you want to go. So if you're looking to build muscle or lose fat or have just better health in general, I'm here to help support, but you have to put in the work. But if you put in the work, I hope you will join me on that transformation. I would love to see love to see people happier and healthier. So that's why I'm doing this, is I want to see you succeed. So for our last exercise, we're going to be working these deltoid muscles. It's the ball of muscle around your shoulder. We're going to target that middle piece of it, that large piece of the deltoid muscle. So for this, we're going to do a behind the back lateral raise. Now, what I like about this one is it pulls directly against the muscle in its most lengthened position, and also it has a guide of this band is right against my body, so I can't cheat by pulling it forward and using these anterior muscles, these front muscles of the shoulder. I have to work entirely this side muscle of the shoulder to do this deltoid raise. So I'm going to step out to the side until I feel tension pulling on the band. So it should be pulling into my side. That's our starting position. That's keeping tension on the band. And also this should be pulling straight out to the side. So that's putting tension in the most leveraged position for the joint, which is our third rule. Now our second rule is that we go until the muscle is tired. So this muscle should be tired by the end of this exercise. So I'm lifting up to the side and then back down. I'm trying to not lift my shoulder like this. I'm just lifting my hand up to shoulder height. And that is targeting that deltoid muscle. Now I'm keeping my thumb pointed straight towards the front so that I'm not twisting that shoulder. So I'm putting all of that pressure into the middle deltoid. Lifting straight out to my shoulder. Now, if you feel like the band is digging into you, you're pulling too much to the front, try and go straight out to the side. If you need to, you can drop that band. Now on this one, I would count the reps because we're going to need to do the same number of reps on both sides. So I did, I believe, 12 on that side. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'll show you from behind what I'm doing. So the band is right across, pulling straight out to the side. And I'm starting with my hand right at my side. I should feel tension there. Lifting out to the side and then back. So I'm trying for 12 reps each side. I'm not twisting my body or my hand. Lifting out to the side. Trying to keep my shoulder down away from my ear. I'm not swinging with my body. Just lifting with the arm as much as I can. 2 more. And relax. That's working that deltoid muscle in an isolation movement. I like targeting these at the end. It's a small muscle, so it's not very fatiguing, but you definitely will feel a burn in that muscle. So same thing back on the right side, lifting out straight and then back down. So I'm really trying to feel that in my shoulder. And one more. 12. So it's about 12 is my limit on this exercise, going until So I'm doing the same number on both sides. Now, if you can't get 12, that's okay. Do what you can. There's not a one right number. It's whatever number you need to hit to feel tired in the muscle. So for some people that's gonna be 5, for some people that's gonna be 20. As long as it's not so many that you're doing 30, 40 reps, at that point you need to make the band heavier. So either pick a heavier band or add an extra band to it. So lifting up to the side and then back down. Can anyone tell me why the deltoids are important to build up? Why this muscle is important? There are definitely aesthetic reasons, but functionally, what does this do for you? So a lot of people have overused traps, these muscles in their neck. They're lifting up with their shoulder up here, and that's actually narrowing the space in their shoulder. So if my deltoid is strong to be able to lift in this range, I don't have to narrow that shoulder gap by lifting my traps up. Because if I'm up here, I can't really lift my shoulder any higher. But if I'm here, I actually have that range with that deltoid to control it from the muscle, this muscle, rather than having to rely on these large muscles that really shouldn't be doing that movement. So I'm saving tension in the muscle. I'm not over fatiguing my traps. So it's important to have strong deltoids so that you have broader shoulders, but also you're able to use your shoulder more effectively. So last set, starting with our right hand, lifting up to the side, thumb pointed straight to the front. I'm trying to control the movement all the way down, so I'm not bouncing out of the bottom. What I mean by that is I'm not going up and then down bouncing. I'm going down, controlled, and back up, because that helps reduce the risk of injury. And 10. I'm gonna have to stop at 10 on my third set. The muscle's more fatigued. And that can happen is the first 2 sets, you might be able to hit hit a higher number of reps. And then as you get more tired, the third set, you might actually not be able to hit the same number, and that's okay. That's why we care more about how is the muscle feeling? Is it tired? And that's where we're aiming for, is going till the muscle is tired. A lot of people get tied up in a number. So they're like, oh, I'm gonna do 12 reps or 15 reps or 16 reps. And they lose track of actually what it's supposed to feel like in the muscle. So they stop progressing because they're not actually fatiguing the muscle. So that's why it's important to think, what is that muscle feeling? And then go until that muscle is tired. And relax. So that was our workout for today. If you like these sort of workouts and want to see more, or are looking for someone to work out with you, I'm here Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Hope